Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world watching. How you doing? How you been? Uncle Richie here for another video. Today I just want to talk briefly about all-purpose cleaners. So, all-purpose cleaners are probably one of the most important staples for any detailer, detail shop. They're basically universal for everything. You know, you use them on the wheels, you use them on the interior. You could use them on anything. It really is. You really want to have that in your collection. It's one of the most important chemicals. But also understand that there's levels to it. So there's acidic, which isn't as common. You have your neutral and you have your alkaline. Your neutral is probably 70 to 80% that's on the market. Just be careful when you're purchasing this stuff, because there might be an acidic one that you're not reading the label, which is great for, you know, very neglected wheels, light mineral spots, but you have to be careful when, you know, applying it. You don't want to let it sit. You got, you know, it could damage paint. You got to be careful. The alkaline, which is more of a degreaser, and they're labeled as that, but sometimes they also put it as an all-purpose cleaner. You just got to make sure that you're paying attention to the label. As far as which one to use, I'm a big believer in you have to try products, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, you know, Armor All or Maguire or whatever company there is that, like, they have an all-purpose spray, like that's the one, that's the most important, you got to use that one, that's the best one. Trial and error. Practice, use the product. Like, it's great to have all the information so you kind of get an idea of what to use, what companies or what, but you're never really going to know unless you're actually using it, you're actually putting it to the test. So for me, I remember I was using an all-purpose cleaner. I forget the name of it. That's how long ago it was, and it was good. I was using it, and you know, I liked it. Ran out of it. Went to go purchase more. It was on back order, so I was like, all right, you know, I'll go purchase another one. So I purchased another one, and it worked better than the original. It's a neutral spray. I use it on everything. It's in my kit right now. It's from a company called Carbright. None of this is paid, by the way. I'm not, you know, that fancy. But this is a water-based one. It works great. I have no problems. I can use it on plastic. I can use it on wheels. I can use it on tires. So you just want to make sure that whatever product you buy, you're using it for, obviously, universal. The more things you have in your toolkit that are universal, the better it's going to be. And there's also the degreaser and which is alkaline, and the acid are very important to have too, depending on, you know, your need. But for the most part, you really want to have a neutral spray because it's more universal. Doesn't mean you can't use the acidic or you can't use the alkaline on certain, you know, on certain cars, because they may need it. But you would just get more of it. For alkaline, you just get a degreaser, and for the acidic, you want that for if you're dealing with like heavily neglected wheels. It is one of the most important products to have in your bag. I think it's incredibly important to test products out for yourself, to really feel which one is the best one for you. All-purpose sprays are in the name. You know, it's all-purpose. It's everything that you need. Any information that you do need, there's a link in my bio. There's a guide. It'll walk you through everything. I was told to say like, subscribe, follow on social media platforms. I'm new with this stuff, so I'm learning as I go. If you guys would subscribe to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, greatly appreciate it. If not, I'm still coming on here and I'm still going to do whatever I can to help. I want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys to fill in the comments. Let me know if you need anything. And like I said, the link is in my bio for the guide. If you guys are looking for a step-by-step, or like I said, you could just, you know, reach out to me with any, you know, questions you may have in that guide. Wanted to throw out there real quick too, also not paid, I just really like the hat. This is from City Locks. It's a pretty cool hat. You represent where your business is from. It's like cool little license plate. I thought it was cool. I bought it, you know, a few years back. Really like the hat, really like the company. Big supporter in small business. So like I said, if you guys check it out, I know they have a ton of other options too. But I just like this one. But again, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to get more in depth with a lot of other things, other products that we use. But in the meantime, all-purpose sprays, extremely important. Definitely one of the many you should have in your bag, especially detailing wise. There's a lot of other products out there that kind of push themselves as an all-purpose. You just got to be careful with labeling. You have to make sure that you test it. You never want to buy a product and then use it on a customer's car and then either do something wrong to it, or you're not getting the result and you're sitting there going, how do I get this off? How do I get this off? How do I get this off? So just make sure that you're using the right all-purpose cleaners for the right job. There are levels to it, but for the most part, you want the neutral, you want the most neutral, which is usually around like a 6.5 and 7, which is a neutral pH level, which is what you want. It won't damage your plastics, it won't damage the paint or anything like that. The acidics have their place, the alkalines have their place. But if you're looking for the all-purpose, make sure you're staying neutral, all right? Like I said, any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll speak to you guys soon, all right? Take care.